Chapter 111, Slaughter every unfaithful dog in the world. All right. Leave it to me. Ning Xi patted her chest with confidence. The more she looked at the pair, one tall and one short, the more excited she became. Ah, I can't hold back anymore. I really want to take some pictures of you two. Hurry up and come over here. Stand next to each other. Get a little closer. Hold hands. Her commands directed each movement of the father and son pair, arranging them into very compatible poses. The more pictures Ning Xi snapped, the more addicted she became. She had practically turned into a fangirl. Out in the little garden of the study room's balcony, she continuously shot many photos of both father and son. Liu Tingxiao stood next to her and leaned closer to take a look. He praised, "Very well taken." Ning Xi waved her hand modestly, "My photography skills are so-so. I even used a cell phone. Since you guys are such good models and the background is so awesome, every picture looks like it's from a blockbuster." "Oh right, Liu Tingxiao, do you have a WeChat? I'll add you and send you the pictures." I actually wanted to say this earlier, but who still sends text messages nowadays? They're so inconvenient. In the future, teach little treasure how to use WeChat too. I do, just search for my cell phone number. Liu Tingxiao began to feel glad that Liu Jingli had forced him to open a WeChat account. Your username is actually just Liu Tingxiao, that's so uncreative. Ning Xi poked fun at Liu Tingxiao as she added him to her friends list. Liu Tingxiao raised his eyebrows and impulsively looked for Ning Xi's username. Upon seeing it, he was surprised to discover that he didn't actually recognize some of the Chinese characters. My lonely empty loss? Why was this username so odd? What did it mean? Liu Tingxiao really wanted to ask those questions, but he was also scared that this was internet slang. He could end up exposing the generation gap between them like last time if he asked. Therefore, he opted to stay silent. After they had friended each other, Ning Xi sent him all the pictures. When Liu Tingxiao received the pictures, he inadvertently noticed that Ning Xi's personalized signature was, "One day, I'll take a sword and slaughter every unfaithful dog in the world." Liu Tingxiao. After sending out all the pictures, Ning Xi realized Liu Tingxiao was giving a complicated stare at her signature. Her jaw dropped in embarrassment and she explained awkwardly, "About that was my signature when I was going through a stupid phase in junior high, and I kept forgetting to change it." "Is it that terrifying?" Liu Tingxiao laughed lightly, "It's all right. There would be a day when he would become the person to make her change this signature. Also about my username, cough cough. It's in Martian language. It was really popular online back in the day. It does look rather terrifying now, but I've gotten used to it. I'm also too lazy to change it." Ning Xi explained while scratching her head. "Pub future ads. Not bad. Can you help me change mine to something similar?" Liu Tingxiao requested. "Hey? You really think it's not bad?" Ning Xi was horrified by Liu Tingxiao's taste. "Yes." Liu Tingxiao's expression was very serious. Then I will help you think of one." Ning Xi regretted it immediately after she had promised him. She couldn't imagine how Liu Tingxiao's WeChat friends would react when they saw him change his username into Martian language. That would be such a great scene. "Thank you." Liu Tingxiao hardly ever logged into WeChat. Shortly after logging in this time, he noticed that quite a few messages had appeared in his family group chat. It turned out that his mother and father were complaining to their relatives that they hadn't seen their good grandson in a very long time because their eldest son seemed to have recently found a girl he was interested in and was currently pursuing her with passion. Therefore, they didn't dare disturb him by making a trip to his place. While they were complaining, their tone was more like bragging. "Ha ha ha, our eldest is finally interested in a girl." "A girl?" Liu Tingxiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry at his parents' words. Afterwards, he casually uploaded all the pictures that Ning Xi had just sent him to the group. After a few seconds passed, the entire family group chat exploded. TL note: Martian language is a different way of typing Chinese where they replace the normal characters with numbers, symbols, or foreign characters that look similar, e.g., Japanese. Think of how people replace letters with numbers for internet slang like L33T or 4LPH4B3T. If you're interested to know more, here's a link to the Wikipedia article, https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/Martian_language. Chapter 112, Sister-in-Law is Unbelievable. Everyone's first reaction was that Lu Tingxiao, the king of eternal lurking, had unexpectedly made a wild appearance in the family group chat. Their second reaction was, "Dear God, this pair of father and son looked like they had just stepped out of a magazine." They really wanted to steal little treasure and bring him home. They also really wanted to give their daughters over in marriage. If modern society didn't prohibit marriage between close relatives, countless members of the family group chat who had daughters would have already killed themselves trying to make it happen. Pub Future ads. "Oh my good grandson is so adorable. Oh my son is so handsome." Mrs. Lu was so moved that she didn't know who she should praise first. "Tingxiao, who chose those clothes for you and little treasure? Was it that young woman you like?" At just one glance, Mrs. Lu noticed that those definitely did not conform to her son's style. "Yes. I just knew you couldn't possibly have chosen this style of clothing. Look at how bright the colors are. How good looking. It's nothing like the drab and boring clothing you wear all the time. You even made little treasure wear such drab and boring colors too. There's no doubt about it, your household really needs a woman." Were the pictures also taken by her? Mr. Lu also couldn't resist asking. "Yes." Once again, Lu Tingxiao responded with a single word. "Not bad." Mr. Lu was clearly very pleased. Even as a child, Lu Tingxiao had hated getting his picture taken. Little Treasure hated getting his picture taken even more. Therefore, pictures of this father and son pair were extremely rare, and there were even fewer pictures of the two posing together. Acting in unison, both Mr. and Mrs. Lu silently saved the entire set of pictures. "Damn, my future sister-in-law is unbelievable. She somehow managed to get you to wear clothing of this color and had you obediently pose for pictures. I gave you a suit that was nearly identical to this one in color and your expression was so disdainful. You even criticized my taste." This time, Lu Jingli was the one to speak. Since Lu Jingli had appeared, referring to the other party as "my future sister-in-law," all the extended family members couldn't endure it any longer. Everyone began an interrogation to figure out which family the girl that Lu Tingxiao fancied belonged to. Lu Tingxiao immediately responded with two words, "Private matter." His meaning was, "This is my private matter. No one is allowed to get involved." Therefore, those who were getting ready to investigate the situation no longer dared to act rashly. Lu Tingxiao stood at the helm of this large Lu family. His existence was akin to an emperor. The Lu family's glory and honor and the Lu family's respect and splendor were all dependent on him. Without a doubt, his words were like an imperial edict. Pub Future ads. Pub Future ads. At that moment, there was another person who had seen the pictures and chat messages in the family group chat, Zhang Huiye. Zhang Huiye stared unwaveringly at the words, "Was it that young woman you like?" After staring for a long time, he immediately sent Ning Xi a private message. "Ning Xi, did you take pictures for Lu Tingxiao and Little Treasure?" "Yeah." "How did you know? Did you see us?" Ning Xi recalled that Zhang Huiye also did not have any scenes to film today. She wondered to herself if this punk might have possibly snuck over again. "Humph, my uncle uploaded them to the family group chat to show off. Everyone is giving out compliments." Ning Xi immediately became happy and typed rapidly, "Ha ha ha, really? Are they complimenting me for taking good pictures? Zhang Wei was so angry that he almost threw his phone. Could you focus on the main point here? Then what should I be focusing on? I'm telling you, just now. Zhang Wei originally wanted to say that Liu Tingxiao had just personally admitted in the group chat that the girl he liked had taken the pictures for him. However, after thinking about how he had already told her that 3 times previously, he decided suddenly that this evidence wasn't strong enough. It was very likely he might even suffer another beating from her instead. Therefore, he decided that he might as well wait until he had found undeniable evidence that she could convince her completely. We have scenes together tomorrow. Don't be late. Zhang Wei changed the subject. When have I ever been late? It'll be a kissing scene if everything goes according to plan. If there's any whiff of garlic or durian from you tomorrow, you're dead, got it? Chapter 113, 3 months, to make her my wife. After finishing her dinner, Ning Xi hesitated for a long while before finally going to look for Liu Tingxiao. On the tranquil balcony, Liu Tingxiao didn't press her. He only stood there silently, waiting patiently for her reply. Ning Xi took a deep breath. She turned to look at the man next to her before finally making her decision. She said, Liu Tingxiao, I've thought through everything you've said. I promise that I'll stay for another 3 months. However, once the 3 months are over, I really have to leave. Even though there was nothing between them, it was suspicious to stay in someone else's home as an unmarried woman. It could easily cause unnecessary misunderstandings. Thank you. Liu Tingxiao showed an expression of relief. At the same time, a well-hidden dark glint flashed across his eyes. Do you have filming tomorrow? Liu Tingxiao asked. Ning Xi heaved a long sigh before nodding, yes. Seeing her uneasy expression, Liu Tingxiao asked caringly, why? Are the scenes for tomorrow difficult to act? Ning Xi propped up her chin and leaned on the railing before muttering to herself, they're not exactly difficult, and it's just a kissing scene, but the person I have to kiss is Zhang Wei. I'm just worried that I'll forget myself and hit him halfway. What will I do then? I might even turn it into a gag scene instead. Kissing scene, Liu Tingxiao's eyes narrowed slightly. Although he had already known that this movie would have scenes like that, he had been avoiding that issue on purpose, because he was worried that he would lose control and do something to make her hate him. At this moment, Ning Xi suddenly thought of something. She hit her own head and said, alright, Liu Tingxiao, there's something I need to thank you for. What? Liu Tingxiao asked a little absent-mindedly. I just found out that the person who added that last-minute investment into the movie was second master Liu, and it was you who gave the order to keep me as the second female lead. Thanks for that. Ning Xi thanked him sincerely and with utmost gratitude. It's good enough that you don't blame me. Am I that undiscriminating? I'll definitely express my gratitude for things that I should be thankful for. Don't mention it, it was just a convenient action. The truth was that he had done all this for her, and Zhang Wei was the one who had really benefited from it in passing. Pub future ads. Ning Xi thought hard before she spoke up, I've already taken advantage even in passing. Just saying thanks isn't enough to show my sincerity. Why don't I cook a meal for you and little treasure when I'm free later on? Although I'm usually too lazy to cook for myself, my cooking is really delicious. Let me tell you, if I didn't enter the entertainment industry, I might have gone to become a chef. Liu Tingxiao smiled lightly, I look forward to it then. The next day, Ning Xi had just arrived at the movie city when she spotted a large group of ladies gathered near the set, with a particularly eye-catching golden head in the middle of the group. At one glance, she could tell that it was Zhang Wei and his young female fans. Ning Xi subconsciously thought of taking a detour. She didn't think that there would be a scream just as she was about to sneak away, ah! It's Ning Xi. In her heart, Ning Xi thought that she was done for, but just as she was about to defend her face, the group of girls lined up into a few rows in front of her and bent at their waists together as they said, "We're sorry." After they had finished apologizing, they stared at her with starry eyes as all of them talked at once. "Miss Ning Xi, sorry, it was our misunderstanding the last time. Please don't take people like us seriously, you have to continue acting the character Meng Chang'e." That's right, that's right. Your acting's just too good, we really love the scene you had with Zhang Wei. I played that 10-second clip on repeat at home for a whole day, okay. Ning Xi was so bewildered by the girl's actions that she subconsciously turned to look at Zhang Wei. Chapter 114, I'm the one forcefully kissing you anyway. Zhang Wei walked over to explain with considerably high spirits. Didn't director Guo release some highlights of the film previously? One of the clips shown was the bondage scene we shot the other day. After that, they changed from anti-fans into your most fervent fans. Are they really that happy watching me get bullied? So that's what happened. Very few fans infatuated with celebrities would ever try to get in contact with their idols in real life, as their chances weren't very high. Thus, movies and the like became the way fans lived their fantasies. If a female star was going to act in a scene with your male idol, your first reaction might be a little jealousy. Especially if that female star acted terribly, you would feel that your idol had suffered injustice, thereby creating a lot of resistance. However, on the contrary, fans would also pretend to be the person acting alongside their idol and gain a lot of satisfaction from it. That was Ning Xi's current situation. "Mue. I heard that you guys have a lot of intimate scenes. Is that true? Do you have any kissing scenes?" a fan asked excitedly. Zhang Wei raised an eyebrow, "There is. In fact, we have one today." A wave of excited screaming rose from the fans. "Can we watch? Can we? Can we?" the little girls asked while clamoring. "The scene we're filming today will be outdoors, so you should be able to see it from the fence. However, it'll be pretty far away, so you might not be able to see clearly." Zhang Wei replied. That's fine, we all came prepared." The girls all brought out the must-have item for fans, binoculars. Ning Xi was speechless. With so many people watching, the pressure was piling on top of her like a mountain. In the break room, Ning Xi couldn't resist asking, "Speaking of the kissing scene, exactly which scene was it?" Too many things had happened recently and the order of filming had changed a lot. She only had a rough idea, but had not been informed of the specifics. Zhang Wei flipped through the script excitedly, "It's the scene with the flower lanterns, I asked the director last night." Ning Xi recalled the plot, "The Flower Lantern Festival? Isn't that the scene where Meng Chang'e and Sun Huanqing have their first kiss?" "Yes, it's that one." After having said so, Zhang Wei's eyebrows raised as he moved close to her cautiously and took a sniff. "Did you remember what I said yesterday? You didn't eat anything you shouldn't have, right?" Pub future ads. Ning Xi slapped him away, "Do I look that unprofessional to you? Remember what you just said, if you play me, I'm going to tell the director." Zhang Wei stared at her with distrust. He had been tricked too many times by this fellow, he completely didn't dare to relax his guard. Ning Xi rolled her eyes at him, "How old are you? Are you still going to tell the teacher? Aren't you childish?" Zhang Wei harumphed and turned away, "I'm not going to talk to you anymore, I'm going to research how I'm going to act in the scene." Ning Xi turned his chair over in a single move, "What are you going to research for? Anyway, I'll be the one forcefully kissing you by then. Come here, I have something to ask you." Zhang Wei, damn it, couldn't he research how to get forcefully kissed then? "What do you want to ask?" Zhang Wei asked huffily. "What are they going to do with the Jia Qingqing's role? Of course they're going to swap her out. I heard Ming Ji say that her replacement is going to be someone from our Golden Age entertainment. It seems like it'll be a new singer." She's rather pretty, but she doesn't have any acting experience at all, it's going to be tough to watch. That's right, did you hear about what happened to Jia Qingqing? What about Jia Qingqing? Ning Xi did not understand. What else could have happened? This incident got so out of hand that her sugar daddy's wife found out. The wife hired people to strip Jia Qingqing on the streets and beat her up, then announced that she had to scram out of the capital or she would kill Jia Qingqing the next time they met. I was still worried that that woman would do something to you after getting forced into a corner, but it looks like I don't have to worry anymore. As Zhang Weie continued talking, he started to realize that something felt strange. Ning Xi, why do I feel that everything happened way too smoothly? At this moment, the director's voice sounded from outside. Ning Xi, Weie, go put on your costumes. It'll be your turn for the next scene. Chapter 115, The Calm Before the Storm. At this moment, night was just setting in, the lighting was just nice. The props team had already set up the stage properly, and all the actors were in place. After changing into costume, Zhang Weie actually started feeling nervous, something that wasn't common for him. Strictly speaking, although he had dated Ning Xi before, he hadn't even touched her fingers, let alone kiss her. He hadn't thought that the first time he would kiss her wouldn't be while they were dating, but while they were filming. Just as he was taking a deep breath to control his emotions, a strong force hit him on the back. Dressed in a suave costume with her hair tied into a high ponytail, Ning Xi threw an arm around his shoulder in a sloppy manner. What ya doing, blondie? You're not nervous, are you? Get off me! Who's nervous? The number of kissing scenes I've done is more than the number of times you've eaten rice. Zhang Weie pushed her away unhappily, the shoulder she had been leaning on felt like it was on fire. It was at this moment that Guo Qishan walked over worriedly. We are unable to clear all unrelated personnel from this scene, will you two be alright? Normally, they would sometimes get unrelated personnel away from the scene when filming scenes like this. This was done to prevent actors from feeling awkward and having it affect their filming as well. Ning Xi shrugged with a relaxed expression, I'm okay. Senior Zhang said that the number of kissing scenes he's done is more than the number of times I've eaten rice, so he'll definitely be fine. Guo Qishan laughed out loud, then we'll start now. He then reassured them, saying, because this is the most important kiss in the entire movie, my standards will be a little higher. However, since the two of you have just started working together, it's fine if you can't get it right at the start. We'll do it slow, and it's fine even if we do multiple takes. Hearing the director say that they could try the scene a few times, the corner of Zhang Weie's mouth twitched. He completely didn't have the feeling of being reassured. Conversely, his heart had started pumping faster. Something was wrong with him today. It was just a kissing scene, so why was his heart beating so hard? Pub Future ads. No one discovered the fly-sized high-definition camera drones flying circles above their heads. At a street just 100 meters away from the set, a black car was parked quietly. Within the car, multiple video streams from the set were being projected on the screen in the back seat. Liu Tingxiao was dressed in a dark-colored suit, and his shirt was buttoned up all the way. His slender fingers were supporting his forehead. The light from the screen was reflected off his dark pupils as he watched the fully costumed girl on the screen without a word. Sitting by his side, Liu Jingli would look out the window one moment, then stare at the screen in the car the next. He had a conflicted expression on his face. Bro, are you sure you're just gonna watch them like this without doing anything? Then why didn't you just stay at home so you don't have to watch? Why torture yourself like this? Afraid of the consequences of saying so much, he stared at the face of his dear brother, currently shrouded by light of dusk. He mumbled to himself, he's not exploding while in silence, then we'll all die in silence, why do I have a bad feeling about this? He had grown up with Liu Tingxiao after all, so he understood his personality all too well. This fellow looked especially cold and arrogant on the outside, and seemed not to have any desires. In fact, he would have extremely fearsome possessive feelings towards anything that he had marked as his territory. Ever since Ning Xi had appeared, Lu Tingxiao had only shown his brightest and warmest faces to her. However, Lu Jingli knew that as long as it was something he wanted, there was nothing he couldn't get. This was the patience of a hunting beast. This facade wouldn't hold up to a single blow, there was no saying when it would give way with a bang and be blown to bits. These few days, he had been living with his heart on edge. After finding out that kid Zhang Muye had actually dated Ning Xi before, he had really sweated a bunch for him. Seeing that the kid was his nephew, he would find a chance to warn him later. Otherwise, he wouldn't even know how he died when the time comes. Chapter 116, Wouldn't Things Go to Hell If They Really Kissed? The filming began. Peddlers selling colored lanterns and lantern riddles lined both sides of the street. The commoners bustled about holding lanterns in their hands, and the surroundings were full of laughter and cheer. Meng Chang'e had just dragged Sun Huanqing out of the hospital where he had been shut indoors tending to patients. The camera chased after the two as they pushed forward. The shot captured a young man and young girl running swiftly along the brightly lit streets of Chang'an. The scene was beautiful beyond words. This scene didn't have many spoken lines. Instead, the focus was on the scenery and changes in the facial expressions of the lead actors. Meng Chang'e was full of excitement. Sun Huanqing had been reluctant at first, but later, he was infected by the young girl's excitement and they weaved through the crowd of people together. After walking for some time, Sun Huanqing suddenly realized that the girl was still holding onto his hand, so he hastily began to struggle. On the contrary, Meng Chang'e stubbornly held onto his hand even more tightly and refused to let go. Her expression clearly said, "This hand is mine." Sun Huanqing spoke anxiously, "Miss Meng, please conduct yourself with dignity. Men and women should keep their distance." Meng Chang'e frowned as she stared at him, "You're such a silly bookworm. What if we get separated after I let go of your hand?" "If we get separated, then so be it." Sun Huanqing resentfully blurted out. "Sun Huanqing! You!" Meng Chang'e angrily flung his hand away and dove into the crowd. As he watched her red figure slowly disappear amidst the crowd, Sun Huanqing's expression gradually became anxious. Recently, there had been a rumor in the capital that a rapist had been roaming about. Young women from quite a few households had gone missing. The streets were so chaotic today and she was just a girl. What if something happened to her? Sun Huanqing was only worried for Meng Chang'e now. He had completely forgotten that she was a street-smart little demon. Even if she did bump into the rapist, it would still be the rapist's unlucky day. The camera lens began to follow Sun Huanqing as he relentlessly searched through the crowd for Meng Chang'e. Just as he was about to collapse from frustration, someone suddenly patted his shoulder. Pub Future Ads. When he turned around, a person wearing a devil mask was standing in front of him. She spoke in a rather pleased tone, "Dr. Sun, were you looking for me?" When he heard that girl's familiar voice, Sun Huanqing couldn't control his joy and pulled her into his embrace. Meng Chang'e clearly had not expected that the usually conservative Sun Huanqing would act like this and immediately froze. In the next scene, Meng Chang'e was going to take the initiative to kiss Sun Huanqing. The fans who were watching from afar were so excited that they held their breaths as they fixed their gazes on the scene, not daring to breathe. Just from their imaginations alone, they knew that the first kiss between those two would be absolutely beautiful. At the same time, there was someone else who was holding his breath. That person was Lu Jingli, who was sitting in a black car. Lu Jingli cringed and plastered himself against the window to stay as far as he could from his brother. He was so scared that he even closed his eyes because he couldn't bear to keep watching. He absolutely didn't believe that his brother would watch without doing anything. The temperature in the car had almost dropped below freezing when Ning Xi had only held Zhang Muye's hand and when the two had embraced as well. Wouldn't things go to hell if they really kissed? Was there going to be a bloodbath in the next moment? As much as he racked his brains, Lu Jingli still couldn't figure out how his brother would be able to prevent this scene without making Ning Xi angry. Lu Jingli cautiously peeked at the screen through the cracks of his fingers, only to see Ning Xi slowly take off her mask, gaze at Zhang Huiye lovingly, and then wrap a hand around Zhang Huiye's neck to pull him closer. It was over now. Someone was going to die. Right as Lu Jingli was mentally wailing in anguish, all the colored lanterns in the backdrop were suddenly extinguished. It was as if his brother's silently raging anger had put them out. It was terrifying beyond compare. Chapter 117, Are you defying nature now? Ah! It's raining. Cries of alarm sounded from the crowd. Since the colored lanterns were made of paper and glue, and most of the lotus lanterns were in the open, they were instantly put out by the rain. Ning Xi, who had just been about to initiate the kiss, suddenly stopped all movement because of this sudden change. She subconsciously raised a hand to cover her head. Why did it suddenly start raining? Hey, ouch! Why does it seems like there's hail? Zhang Huiye had been so nervous that his heart had almost stopped. When they were forced to cut the scene, he was this close to fainting after choking on his breath. Damn it! Hasn't there been a drought recently? It hasn't rained in a few months. It's such a hot day, how could it hail? In the car, Lu Jingli had a stupefied expression. It was raining? The weather was just fine a moment ago, how could it rain? Wait! Listening to the thumps coming from the car roof, it seemed like there was even hail. At this moment, the cogs in Lu Jingli's head spun into place before he turned to his completely unsurprised and stony-faced brother, his mouth twitching. Lu Jingli was speechless. You even made it rain. Bro, are you trying to defy nature? Also, don't you think you've overdone it? For goodness sake, it's hailing. Seeing that filming had stopped, the pressure around Lu Tingxia retreated like the tide. A single word came from his thin lips, drive. Yes, eldest young master. The driver started the engine, and in the dark of the night, the car silently left the scene. Guo Qixin had not expected that such a situation would occur. He wrung his hands repeatedly. If they had been able to continue filming just now, it would have been a perfect scene. Ah, forget about it, forget about it. The road to happiness is filled with setbacks. Let's wrap up for the day. However, don't leave yet, everyone. Let us all have dinner together tonight. We weren't able to give Muye a welcome dinner the last time, so we shall make up for it today. Guo Qixin called out to the crowd. There had been a lot of drama going on in the crew recently. Gathering for a dinner would help them settle the ruffled feelings they had. The crew, who had still been listless over the sudden change in the weather, instantly recovered their spirits. All of them shouted in joy. Zhang Huiye gave a lifeless shout in reply, clearly in a bad mood. Pub future ads. Ning Xi threw a towel to him. What kind of expression is that? Are you disappointed that you didn't get forcefully kissed by me? Nonsense! I'm just not happy that I have to do that scene again with you. Zhang Huiye stared at her, then with an expression of warning, you shouldn't have any problems tonight, right? Not at all. What problems could I have? While saying so, Ning Xi sent a message to Lu Tingxiao to inform him as usual. Zhang Huiye stared at her phone secretly, looking at what she was sending, then realizing that something was wrong. Little Ning Xi, when did you change your Weibo nickname? Her nickname had changed from My Lonely Empty Lost to Little Sugar Xi. Oh, it's because of Lu Tingxiao. Ning Xi replied. Zhang Huiye's pupils abruptly contracted. Lu Tingxiao made you change it? You changed it just because he told you to? That nickname that you used for so many years? The one that you refused to change no matter how much I made fun of it because you were too lazy? You changed it the moment he told you to. Ning Xi rolled her eyes at him. Could you stop getting so agitated over nothing? He didn't make me change it, okay. Then why did you change it? It was because he didn't get me to change it, and he even said that this nickname was pretty good. He wanted me to help him change his nickname to something similar. Zhang Wei, damn. His uncle had some skill at picking up girls. Even something like this could work? Ning Xi sighed, it's fine if a tough guy like me uses this kind of shocking name, but as the CEO of a big corporation, if I somehow influenced him into using Martian language, wouldn't that be a sin? So I had to somehow persuade him for a long time that Martian language is already outdated, and to prove that, I changed my nickname. Chapter 118, Meeting Between Ex-Boyfriends. Ning Xi was too lazy to type, so she just sent a voice message over, Mr. Lu, I have a dinner with the crew tonight. Could I trouble you to tell Little Treasure not to wait for me for dinner? With a whoosh, Lu Tingxiao had already sent his reply, and it was also a voice message. Ning Xi tapped on the voice message, and Lu Tingxiao's cold yet caring voice sounded from the phone, okay, have fun. Ning Xiao Xi, Zhang Wei called her name sinisterly. What? You're not only blind, even your ears are going deaf. Don't you think the tone my uncle uses when talking to you is a little strange? Zhang Wei, are you itching for a beating? Zhang Wei firmly decided not to say anything more. Hehe, Ning Xiao Xi, just you wait. By tonight, I'm definitely going to find some conclusive evidence to make you believe it. You better believe it. At the Grand Pearl Hotel, almost all the crew had been gathered for this dinner. Even Ning Xueluo and the other actors who didn't have scenes to film today had rushed over. Everyone welcomed Zhang Wei enthusiastically, and the atmosphere in the private dining room was very warm. After 3 rounds of drinks, Amy suddenly picked up her wineglass and stood up. Ning Xi, I misunderstood you last time. I'm dedicating this toast to you, take it as my apology and my thanks to you. Amy G, you're being too courteous. Ning Xi returned the toast by downing the rest of the wine in her glass. Everyone cheered in agreement, and following that, quite a few of them also toasted Ning Xi. Ning Xi didn't refuse any toasts, and settled all the grudges by drinking. Seeing Ning Xi getting along so well with the crew, Ning Xueluo put on a gratified smile, I told you that my junior wasn't that kind of person. As the dinner was coming to a close, a slender figure knocked on the door and walked in. Aya, young Master Su. Young Master Su is here. Yan Gaig, why are you here? Seeing the new arrival, Ning Xueluo immediately welcomed him with an expression of joyful surprise. In the corner, the drunk Zhang Wei immediately woke up. His gaze was like a torch as he stared at the man dressed in a white suit standing at the door and giving off a refined aura. Su Yan. Pub Future Ads. That was Su Yan? The only man that Ning Xi was rumored to have loved? As a perfect boyfriend, Su Yan would always appear at occasions where Ning Xueluo needed some support. At this moment, Ning Xueluo was clinging onto his arm as he greeted everyone with a warm expression, I was eating here with some friends and I heard from Xueluo that all of you were here too. Order whatever you'd like to eat, this dinner will be my treat. Everyone roared together. Wow! Young Master Su's too rich. It feels like we're always riding on Teacher Ning's coattails. Then we're not going to be courteous. At this moment, a cold snort came from the corner. This is my welcome dinner, why are you the one treating me? I'm paying for this dinner. It was most likely because he was meeting another of Ning Xi's exes, but once Su Yan had appeared, Zhang Wei showed undisguised hostility. Men were always sensitive to hostility from other men. Su Yan detected Zhang Wei's unfriendly attitude towards him from the start. However, his face held a warm smile as he spoke unhurriedly, since it's Mr. Jiang's welcome dinner, then by right, Mr. Jiang shouldn't be the one to pay for it at all. That's right, let us treat this round. Think of it as our hospitality as your hosts. Ning Xueluo supported. What hospitality? He was born and raised in the capital, all right? Who even needed them as hosts? Jing Wei was going to use his drunkenness as an excuse to throw a tantrum when Ning Xi pressed on his shoulder from behind and whispered in his ear, "Are you brain dead? There's a guy who has more money than common sense, why not use him? Let him pay." When Zhang Wei heard that, his expression turned uglier. "Humph, are you sure you're not speaking up for him? That's your ex-lover right there." Ning Xi raised a brow, "Aren't you my ex-lover too?" Chapter 119, Born on the Same Day. Little Ning Xi. Don't change the topic. Zhang Wei felt even more sore in his heart as he listened. In his heart, he thought, how can I count as an ex-lover? How can I compare with your childhood sweetheart Yan Gaig? You even called out for him in your dreams. Ning Xi helplessly said, "Fine, I'm not going to change the topic. Are you trying to expose my relationship with you and Su Yan in front of everyone by making a fuss like this? When would this fellow grow up and be a little more mature?" Zhang Wei finally shut up. "If you want to pay for this dinner, then do as you like." In the end, Zhang Wei gave a half-hearted reply. After Su Yan saw Ning Xi whispering into Zhang Wei's ears, his brows drew together imperceptibly. Did he have the wrong impression? He had a feeling that the relationship between Ning Xi and Zhang Wei went beyond mere colleagues. Seeing Su Yan staring in Ning Xi's direction with a lost expression, Ning Xueluo shook his arm to draw his attention before saying tenderly, "Yan Gaig, did you bring what I asked you to?" Su Yan recovered his senses, "I did." Having said so, he passed her a stack of invitation cards before saying to everyone, "It's Xueluo's birthday tomorrow. I hope that everyone can attend her birthday banquet tomorrow." "Ah! It's Teacher Ning's birthday tomorrow. We absolutely have to go. Teacher Ning's birthday banquet must be a high-class affair, we all have to go and see it for ourselves." Ning Xueluo smiled with a sweet expression as she handed out invitation cards one by one. When it came to Ning Xi's turn, she didn't forget to remind her specially, "Junior, you have to come, okay?" Ning Xi spun her wineglass from time to time, staring at the clear red wine in it without any expression. When it came to Zhang Wei's turn, he didn't even bother moving. "You don't have to give me one, I'm not going." Hearing this, Ning Xueluo's expression stiffened slightly, but she recovered her sweet smile in the next moment. She asked with concern, "Are you busy tomorrow, Wei? Could you postpone it to another day? I really hope that you'll be able to come. Please. She had already promised a few of her close friends who were Zhang Wei's fans that she would definitely have him at her party. Most men wouldn't be able to reject a beautiful woman using that kind of tone to make a request. However, Zhang Wei was completely immune to it. Contempt flashed across his eyes as he said impatiently, "I can't postpone it, it's my friend's birthday tomorrow too." Pub future ads. After saying so, he glanced in Ning Xi's direction. Ning Xi sipped some wine and remained silent. "Ah, what a coincidence! Your friend's birthday is actually on the same day as mine. It must be a very important friend to you, right? Then what a shame. If your friend's birthday party ends early, then you're welcome to come to mine at any time. Our party will last overnight." Ning Xueluo said, acting as if she were kind and considerate. Damn it, she wasn't able to get Zhang Wei to come. Wasn't this going to embarrass her in front of so many of her close friends? Who was that friend of Zhang Wei's? That person was not only born on the same day, but was also so important that Zhang Wei would reject her invite in front of so many people. Wait a minute, born on the same day? Ning Xueluo cast a glance in Ning Xi's direction with undecided suspicion. She had suddenly recalled that Ning Xi was born on the same day as her, and thus her birthday was also tomorrow as well. The friend that Zhang Wei had mentioned couldn't be Ning Xi, right? At this moment, she suddenly remembered something. Wang Taihe had revealed that the last-minute investor was Liu Jingli, and her father had told her that the investor had told the director that Ning Xi had to remain as the second female lead. Why would Golden Age Entertainment's Liu Jingli be so adamant about Ning Xi being the second female lead? If her guess was right, that Ning Xi and Zhang Weie's relationship went beyond mere colleagues, then Zhang Weie must have put in a good word for Ning Xi to his bosses at Golden Age. If things had happened like that, then everything made sense. This Ning Xi, could she have seduced Zhang Weie? Chapter 120, A Splendid Death. After Su Yan had left, Zhang Weie continued casting sidelong glances at Ning Xi while snorting coldly. So, that fellow was the true love that made you suffer so much back then? Indeed, there must be something wrong with your eyes. Ning Xi slowly swept her eyes over him. I think there's something wrong with your eyes. Someone like Su Yan can score at least 9 out of 10 points, okay. After hearing so, Zhang Weie exploded. What the? How could he possibly score 9 points? Ning Xi said in a matter-of-fact tone, just based on the fact that he's someone I've loved before. If I say that he sucks, isn't that basically hitting my own face? Anyway, leaving aside my subjective viewpoint, from an objective viewpoint, you can't deny that he's worth 9 points. While Su Yan's looks aren't a match for yours, where you are capable of even blinding people with one glance, he wins in terms of his temperament. He's the warm and refined type. If he was in a fairy tale, then he would be a prince. If he was in an ancient tale, he would be an elegant gentleman. Ooh, a pure gentleman with no equal. Basically he's the type that I liked the most in my teenage days, the kind that I would fall for at first sight. The fire in Zhang Weie's heart grew even stronger as he continued listening. Damn, little Ning Xi. Do you still have feelings for him? You're practically praising him to high heaven. Ning Xi rolled her eyes at him. I really don't care about him anymore. How else could I use such an impartial tone to praise him in front of you? What kind of IQ do you have? Furthermore, the one she was describing was merely the Su Yan living in her memories, the lively and perfect teenage boy, not the present Su Yan. Sometimes, it was because memories felt too perfect that reality seemed even more cruel in comparison. It took Zhang Weie a long while to push down his anger. He asked in a low, muffled voice, then how many points would you give me? Ning Xi rubbed her chin. Under Zhang Weie's anxious gaze, she replied, 9.9 points. Just based on your face, you get that many points? After hearing so, Zhang Weie's temper was soothed. He touched his own face, and pride showed in his expression. Of course. I depend on my face to earn my living. However, why did you deduct 0.1 from my points? Ning Xi looked at him as if she were looking at an idiot. Do you even need to ask? Of course I took it off because of your low IQ. Zhang Weie. Pub future ads. Forget it, forget it. Seeing that she had given him 9.9 points, he wouldn't continue quibbling with her. With a twinkling expression, Zhang Weie couldn't resist asking another question, then. What about Liu Tingxiao? How many points would you give him? Right now, in your heart, what type of man is he? Oh, Liu Tingxiao, it was a little hard for Ning Xi to answer this question. After thinking for a long time, she finally replied, I don't dare to judge the great demon king. If you're talking about type, then he's the type that you can watch from afar, but can never be touched or played with. He looks like a calm sea on the surface, but you'll never know what's hiding in the depths of the waters. This kind of man is unfathomable. If you dive in too deep without careful consideration, you might just drown in his depths. Hearing so, Zhang Weie's expression turned much warmer. Humph, at least you still have some rationality left. But, Ning Xi muttered to herself. But what? Zhang Weie asked anxiously. Ning Xi propped up her chin and smiled, but, if I died in such a splendid way, it'd be worth it to become a ghost. Little Ning Xi. Ha 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 ha, I'm just joking, just joking. Don't get so worked up. Zhang Weie almost expired from anger. I think you're spouting truth after drinking too much. I thought that you had some intentions towards Lu Tingxiao from the start. Are you thinking of sleeping with him?